like I don't know if you saw the Lud Legends that I put together where I showcased, four different people, and I was like, man, and I had this little segment in my mind. I said I want to have Lud Legends, and then I want to acknowledge everybody who is submitted, or anything like that, because
Right.
like I said, I don't believe that anyone's role or is too small. So I was like,
Right.
but dang. So I was like, there's got to be a way to where I can acknowledge everybody like in one big clip, and then like for the ones that really super wow me, I gotta have like
Like
another
highlight
segment.
them.
Right. I say,
Yeah.
I say I'm gonna call that one Legends Speak. And girl, and as I was listening to the damn recording and of what we talked about, I said she's going to be the first legend speak for me. Like
Oh, I love it.
yes, I said
Yay.
I want you to be the first legend speak. Where literally I don't have to even like doctor you up or anything. It's just you speak your words. So there are a few questions that I want to go over. First of all, like, if y'all haven't noticed by now, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, but this is Aria Hope right here. Okay, like this girl is amazing, like
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
Aria,
you.
for real, I love you. I
Oh, I
love
love you
you.
back.
I love you. I'ma just so the other day, guys, we did the interview. Aria was kind enough to give me the interview, and then when I was recording it, the phone decided that it wanted to say full of space. I said, well,
Mm.
and then it cuts off, and then I just moved really quickly and started recording on my computer just so I could kind of get something. So, and I thought I lost a lot, but really what I had, it was great. And there was some stuff that we lost a little bit. I want to say, like she said that her name is Aria Hope, which is, you said it stands for musical hope, correct?
Musical home, yeah. Aria is a song and a song sang like an Italian soloist sings that in opera. That's an aria. I sang
Oh,
many arias in college. I was a vocal major, and so yeah. And then my
nice.
middle name is Hope. So yeah, musical Hope.
Yeah, so I love that. So I want to just go and tackle some quick questions that I was like, man, I wondered this or I wondered that. The number one thing that I want to go into real quick is I want you to talk about first of all what I lost in that the other taping was I want you to talk about Ocean New. Please talk about your business, the inspiration behind it,
Okay.
what you do, girl. Tell us what you do.
Okay, so I do a lot. So I am a singer, actress, model, poet, teacher, you name it, I do it. But I've also been into fashion. I've always been into fashion, and people have always been like, girl, nobody can do that but you. Like, how did you throw that together? And so I realized that styling and fashion was also another part of me, and it's another form of art. And so for as long as I can remember, I've always said, oh, I want to be a stylist. I want to be a stylist. I want to be a stylist. And then there's nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah.
And so my 31st birthday was last Wednesday, October 14th. And as a gift to myself, I was like, you know what? It's time to go ahead and establish this business. You know, like the legal way. Let's do this. Let's
Yes,
make
the
some
legal
money.
way.
Let's make some money
Let's
doing
get
what I
paid
love
for
to do.
what we
Let's put it
do.
on the map. You know, and let's get paid
Yes.
for what we do. And so I came up with the name Oshanu, and excuse my language, it means Noosh. You know,
Yes.
okay. So
You good, girl. You
and
good.
the
You
reason
good.
why I did that is because I like to thrift. My love for thrifting and my love for fashion started when I started thrifting way back when I lived back home in North Carolina. And so what I would do is I would go into the stores and would find the ugliest thing I can find so I could turn it into something like wow, you know.
Yes.
And every time I did it, people were like, I couldn't have pulled that off. Like you did that. How did you? You know, you just do it. I just have a vision. Like I see something, and I'm just like, oh yeah, and this will look cute with this, and this will go great with this, and even this hairstyle will be dope with this, and this lipstick, and this shoe right here, and this sock, and all it is. You know what I'm saying? I just my
Yes.
mind just starts going like an artist would draw a picture or paint something.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
I literally draw pictures or paint with my colors and my patterns and my clothing that I put together. And so that's what Oceanu is. And so basically what I do when people hire me is I go into their homes and I start off with what they have, because it's not that people don't have things, they just don't necessarily know how to put it together.
Right.
And it doesn't require you to spend all of this money. I'm really here to just show you, to just bring out of you what you already have.
Yes.
So I go into the closets and I find those pieces. So I'm basically shopping in your own closet. I'm finding those pieces like I would in a thrift store, those pieces that are unique that I could just put something else with and just create a whole new outfit. So we start there and see what you have, and then we go out, to spend the money and see what maybe a necklace we need here, or maybe a purse that we need to pull this together, and then boom, there you go. You've been styled by old shit new mixed with old shit new shit.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, I love it. You know what? And I will permit it on this. Look, this is a legend speaking, okay? So she has the right to say, oh shit, new shit. You hear me? Come through, Aria.
Thank you.
Girl, I'm gonna need you to come through my closet, girl. And I got a pretty good sense of style, but I was looking at your pictures and everything. Man, you're, like you said, you are very colorful, and the things that you put together, I'm just like, man, if she gets a hold to me, I'm gonna be a beast.
Listen,
you feel
come
me?
on. Let me be touched by Ocean. Literally, I just left a photo shoot. Shout out to Bad's Photography, my friend Damon Edwards. I love him.
Oh my God, they do amazing work.
Yes, dope. And so I just did a photo shoot, one, to add to my portfolio, but two, to build up my styles. A lot of times you have a hard time finding people that just would be just as open-minded as you, and allow you to just have your way and just put your pizzazz on their style.
Right.
And so your best model is yourself. It's OSHINEO shine, and then youth, the letter U, _ by BY _ Aria Hope. I want you guys to follow me, and once you go on my page, you'll see me modeling different styles. And of course, it's me, and I'm a woman. I've had a lot of men reach out to me and like, so when you come out with a clothing line for me, and let me know. And I'm like, okay, well, let me explain this to people. I'm not necessarily creating clothes. I'm not designing clothes. There's a difference between a designer and a stylist.
Yes.
I'm literally just putting together different things that you have, things that you don't have, to style you for maybe like a photo shoot, a party, a birthday, whatever have you. Maybe to work. I had somebody hit me up and was like, listen, I need 30 styles for 30 days, under $30. And I was like, listen, I got you. I can do this. This is what I can do. And so I style men as well. Of course, I don't have any men on my page. I'm just getting started. So all my pictures will be me. But of course, I have some things up my sleeve to do an extra big launching of Oceanu, and I will be needing men. So if you would like to, be one of my models.
I was gonna hint that to you. I was gonna hint that, but I'm glad that you picked up on that.
If you want to be one of my models, I would love to do it. And I don't want to give everything away, but most definitely, I'm gonna do it big.
Yes.
I'm going to do it big, styling everybody. And even I want to have a segment to where I put myself on a timer and just have like a pile of clothes, and I'm just pulling different models and dressing them within however many minutes I give myself, to show you how quick you can be.
Wow, what an excellent! I love that. That's like improvement, right? I mean, like, to put yourself on the timer and see how many styles you can come up with, and then those things are like dope. You know what I mean? And I know you can do it. Like, let me tell you, Ari. Look, I want you. Look, this is personally. I want you to I need you to put the old shit, new shit touch to me, baby. I like a little film with some masculine. You know what I mean? I like that. That's my groove all day long. I love that blend.
I got you.
That's what's
you
up. That's what's up.
You. Like, I love it. It makes me excited to style. Like, that makes me so excited. Not only that, another part of my brand is to show people that you can literally take the same article of clothing and make 1,500 outfits with it. Yes. Like, I would go to work and people are like, you never wear the same thing. And I'm like, I do.
You just really don't notice.
You don't notice, because I mix it up and I wear it different every time. Like, I do things like, I bought an outfit. I actually just posted some pictures. It's an orange top and an orange sweater, and they go together. But to me, that's boring. It's boring. It's just an orange top and an orange sweater. I did it for that photo shoot, you know, because it was really about the head wraps.
That
and we both co-styled that.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you. But I also bought like this houndstooth outfit, this houndstooth shorts and a houndstooth sweater. And literally when I bought the outfits, I did not buy them to wear together. I bought them to break them apart and make different outfits. And so I actually put the orange skirt with the houndstooth shirt and the houndstooth shorts with the orange top, you know, and mixed it up. Like you gotta mix and match.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's
and you're really good, like pattern, like I say, like the patterns that you put together, like the different patterns that I wouldn't even think to mix and blend them. And I'm like,
zebra print, leopard print, those are like, that's it. I'll put a zebra and a leopard and a stripe and a polka dot with anything. My leopard print, you know how women will dress and then they'll throw on a red shoe, and that red shoe is their accent. My accent is my leopard.
Nice.
And my black and white. And
okay.
my red, my stripes, like. Yeah.
Got
Put
you.
the colors together. Who gonna beat me? Who gonna say you ain't supposed to do that? I'm
right.
saying, who you are supposed to do that? You know, you are. And you know, I want to tell people this is one thing that my college roommate, she's a diva, Haley Compton. I love her. Oh, last name not Compton anymore. What is her last name? I forgot. She done got married. But I knew her as Haley Compton. And she was a diva. And when I would go places, she was always dressed up. And I would dress up too. And I told her one time, I said, oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to be overdressed. And she said, listen, honey, let me tell you something. I said, what? She said, you're never overdressed. Everybody else is just underdressed. And that's the mentality that I have everywhere I go.
Yes.
I'm sorry that y'all didn't dress up, but, you know.
Right. That's your bad. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
My bad.
Look, so let me slide into this next question real quick. So, mentioning college, so we talked a little bit about depression and being like in that state of mind, you know, even before your business launch, you were kind of going through some things, you know what I mean? And we kind of touched on that briefly. Can you tell me, what you kind of experienced when you were in college? Like, cause last time I said I can only imagine, but I never thought to even ask you. Give me a little insight of what you were experiencing during college, and you know, when it comes to depression, and did you ever have suicidal thoughts, anything like that?
Right. So, well, I'm a perfectionist. People that know me know that I'm a perfectionist, and I am my biggest critic and really hard on myself. But also on top of being that, I went to school in the mountains. I went to Appalachian State University in North Carolina, and it wasn't just me. I noticed, even my mom would notice. She's like, every time you go up that mountain, you just get like depressed. It's called seasonal depression.
Wow.
And because of the elevation of the mountains, it's like the higher you go up, the more depressed you get. And with the weather being cold, like cold winters, we would be in like knee-deep snow. You know what I'm saying?
Aria, are you serious?
Like 1 month at the end of the semester, we were snowed in. I mean, I opened my door and all I could see was snow, eye-level snow. We were snowed in. We did not go to school for a month. That was at the end of the semester. They had to do this was when virtual learning first started, guys. 2012, when I was a senior in college. And they had to send us all our finals online because we were snowed in. Like, and you know, you get cabin fever and everything, but I really struggled. I didn't really find out who Aria Hope was until after college and after my adulthood. I struggled with my identity. I struggled with my confidence. I struggled with my self-esteem. Mm-hmm. And I really struggled with depression. And a lot of people don't know, I attempted things, suicidal attempt. Never successful because God had another plan for me. You know,
right.
And my mom would always tell me, Aria, you need to go see a therapist. And it wasn't until actually after college when I became completely unhappy with everything. And people that know me know I love kids. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 8 years. And even I was upset, like with everything. My kids, I was angry. One day I left work and I didn't go back for 3 days. I didn't call out. I didn't call in. I didn't do no sub plans. I just didn't go to work.
Yeah. Sometimes when you're in that place, house, you just don't care. It's like even if you want to care, you can't.
And I should have, because I had another job. I need to pay my bills. But I was tripping. Once again, the favor of the Lord over me, and people that love me and that that are connected to higher up sources are like, you better make sure you have a note when you come back, or that's gonna be your job. I'm like, I got you. I
Right.
got you. I get one. You know what I'm saying? But I had to see a therapist, and I was actually on medication for a while. I seen a therapist for about 3 years, every other week. And I just want to put this out there because people have a hard time speaking about mental illness.
Yes, they do. Yes.
And it runs rampant in the African American community. And people don't want to be labeled crazy or weird or whatever. And now, thank the Lord, I've been delivered. I'm not on any medication. I actually took the coping mechanisms that I needed from my therapy sessions and learned how to de-escalate. And when I get in a certain place, what to do to not fall deep into that, that dark place.
Yes.
And so thank the Lord, I'm not on medication anymore. But I will say I was on it for a few years to help me stabilize my moods so I can get back to that happy place of where I was and not have those thoughts. And I recommend anybody to get a therapist.
I would too.
Guys,
I would too.
Just
I have a therapist now.
Regular, everyday person. Right.
I have a therapist now.
I'm actually going to get another one. I hadn't had one since I've been in Houston for 4 years. But let me tell you guys, everyday stresses of just work. It helps to have a therapist and talk to someone who's indifferent and doesn't know you or who you're talking about. That can give you a professional opinion. But yeah, I really struggle. And even like you were saying, right before I launched my business, 2 weeks before I launched my business, it's like everything was going wrong. Lost my wallet, bank cards, ID, got a ticket. He wrote me up for not only speeding, but not having my license. Like, everything was going wrong. You ever had that point in your life when you just like, really, Lord? Like,
absolutely,
can't nothing else happen.
Right.
And then something else happened, like, what are you doing?
Right, like, are you still looking after me? Like, what's up?
Do you care about me? Do you hear me? What's going on? And it was like, really, when I said out my mouth, when I said out my mouth that I was ready to establish my business, and this was something I was going to do. It's like the devil started attacking me. I started going into a depressed mode, and of course, people that deal with depression, anything can trigger it.
Anything.
And that one thing that triggers it can take you back to all of the other things that triggered you a long time ago.
Yes.
And people don't understand depression. It's like, well, what is it?
Depression,
sometimes
you have to really know yourself. Like, if you don't know yourself and take the time to do the self-reflection and do the work, depression will take you under in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
If you don't know the signs, if you don't see them, like if you can't recognize your triggers, if you can't, depression will take you down quick.
It will.
Quick.
And I know it so well. I've dealt with it that I can. It's like I study people. I should have went to school for sociology because I really study people's behaviors and how what triggers things.
Yes.
And because I've dealt with this before, I know how to handle it. I know how to address it. You have to deal with people certain ways.
Yes.
Not the way you want to. People always say treat people the way you want to be treated. That's not true. You treat people the way they need to be treated.
Yes. Come on.
People are different. People are different.
It varies on the person. How I react to a certain person or a situation. I may talk to you one way, and then if another person says the same thing, does the same thing, it could be the exact same way. But because of their personality, their all that type of stuff, I may handle it a different way because their brain operates is totally different from you. You know what I mean? Like you could probably take a little bit of tough love. Like I have a few students, that I teach and help give advice to, and some of them I can just before I just lay the I don't care, give it to me toughness on them, I have to be like, hey sweetie, no, you got it. Like give them all the love and really affection. And then there's other ones that I be like, I ain't finna play with you if you don't get this together. Like, get it together, come on. Like, you know what I mean?
And you have to. And one thing that first of all, we're gonna jump into this in a minute.
Come on.
It all started with like my journey, my spiritual journey started back in May. That changed my outlook on everything. And it's a great segue into, treating people how they need to be treated. But you first have to learn yourself as well.
Yes.
You have to learn yourself because everybody telling you the same thing is not everybody, honey. It's you, okay? You need to work on you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a very strong individual. My presence, my words, I'm very strong.
Yes.
But because I'm like that, I don't always say things as, I don't know, as sensitive or as soft as I should. Like, it comes off as, listen, this is what it is, and this is what needs to be done.
Right.
It kind of comes off as controlling.
Right.
And I've hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm just not that person. I'm really not that person. Like, I am so genuine when I come off and say things. Very genuine, but sometimes you just gotta be aware of who you are in order to know how to deal with people.
And
but
you know
back
what?
to the depression go ahead.
Let me take another step further. Even not just how you know yourself well enough so that you can know how to speak to people, but know yourself well enough to know how to receive things. Because I'm a very emotional, sensitive person, and I'm much like you, Aria. Like, I'm very strong minded. I'm very like, hey, no, let's do this. No, it should go like that. Hey, no, and it's like it's coming from a genuine place, and but it's like when it's time to work, it's time to work. But on the other end, if you just be like, sir, I haven't talked to you, and I'd be like, who you like? I'll either get an attitude, like just certain words trigger me, or I'll be like, why are you treating me like this? Like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, they'd be like, what the hell, boy? Like, and so like, but you have to know, if you know yourself well enough, like that's how you're able to take criticism, constructive criticism, and know, and you can tell when somebody is like, oh well, they're coming off harsh, but I can see the genuine place that they're coming from, and you won't take things as offensively as you normally would have if you did not know yourself. I just want to add that in there.
I learned that with teaching too. Like, I'm telling you, I apply everything that I do in every area of my life because it's important. And my motto to life and when teaching is that I am a teacher, but first I am a student.
What do you teach? What do you teach?
I teach sixth grade math.
Shut up.
I'm middle school. I teach sixth grade math. I've been in elementary for 7 years. This is my first year in middle school, and I think it's me.
Aria, now is the time where I say, girl, what is it that you don't do? I was not expecting sixth grade math.
Yeah, I teach sixth grade math. I love math. And it's so funny. People are like, math? I hate math. But I was also a music major, and I'm a math teacher. And people that are into music and math use the left side of their brain. That's that creative part. And so I exercise that side of my brain a lot in everything that I do because it's just who I am. Like, everything is I don't know. I like figuring things out. I like challenges. I like breaking things down and putting things together. Like take me to a what's those rooms where you they lock you in a room and you have to
like the little rooms you got to figure out the clues. They won't let you out until you
escape room.
Yes, yes.
Take me to an escape room. Oh my God, we're dealing with numbers.
Aria, let's go to an escape room.
Let's do it. We're getting out of there. I'm telling
let's go. I'm
gonna figure this out.
But Aria, but you gotta let me let me have some of the clues too. You can't be figuring everything out, Aria.
Okay, you got it. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share with people. Don't do that. I don't mind sharing with people. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm a teacher, but I'm a student first. Okay. And if you ever get to the point where you feel like you can't learn anymore, then you sold yourself short. I learned so many things from other people, and you have to listen. You have to take that constructive criticism, because constructive criticism, the good and the bad, is only to make you a better person, guys. Right. So don't let it tick you off. Don't let it tick you off. This world is ever evolving, okay?
Yes.
Ever evolving. And so we are too, which means that we have to change with times. You have to be like a chameleon.
Right.
You got to change.
Right.
You got to change no matter where you are, no matter where your environment. You got a code switch. I can be ratchet, but I also can be very prestige.
Exactly.
I went to Appalachian State University.
You
got to learn how to code switch or whatever. And so, I'm sorry, I'll be all over the place. But let me go back to what you said to finish off your question about the depression. Right before I started to launch my business, 2 weeks before, it was like all hell was breaking loose. I was angry with the Lord. I was angry. I was depressed. I was crying, just in a dark place, crying. I was alone. And, I'm always that person that's there when people need to talk. But I felt like when I needed to talk, nobody was there.
Yeah.
And so I just sit in my home and just cry. And I was angry with the Lord. And my mama called me one day, and my mom is very spiritual. My dad's a pastor, my mom's a first lady. My mom was like, hey, how are you doing? And she said something to me, and I just busted out crying. I
Yeah.
said, Lord, I can't do this, and I don't want to release this business. I'm not going to release it on my birthday, and I'm not going to do this, and I feel like I'm not going to have time, and I feel like that I can dress myself, but I can't dress other people, and I can't. And she said, okay, so what you're going to do is pause. You're going to pause, because the devil has you right where he wants you. And he has you feeling defeated. He has you feeling incompetent. He has you feeling like you cannot do this. She said, but Aria, let me tell you something. She said, I've seen you put together things that blow my mind.
Yes.
She said, I've seen you go to a photo shoot not too long ago and you didn't have anything to wear because you lost 40 pounds and the outfit was too big. You literally took that one-piece outfit, cut it in half, made it a two-piece, added a necklace, added a belt to it, and created something new. The scarf that I sent you the other day for a head wrap, you took that scarf and wrapped it around your top and made a shirt out of it. Like, no, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is why the devil is attacking you like this. So what you're going to do is release this business on your birthday, just like you said you were going to. And it wasn't just my mom. I had all my friends coming to me saying, you're going to do this.
That's
and you're
what's up.
going to do it all day. I didn't release my business. I didn't launch my business until almost 9 o'clock p.m. on October 14th. But guess what? I released
You released
on
it.
October 14th.
When
Just
it's
like I
time,
said I was going
when
to.
it's time to give birth, baby, you can't stop
It's
it.
time.
When it's time to
Yes,
give birth,
it's time.
you got to give
Yep.
birth.
Yes.
You got to.
And I did. And
I
did.
was in a place not too long ago. I remember this was in Aria. Like, if you would have told me I would have been here just first of all, if you would have told me I would have been here at 23, I would have been like, you're crazy, because I mean I was so gun ho on killing myself. You would not
Yeah.
believe it. The attempts that I did on my life, it was crazy. First off.
Yeah.
And so then fast forward all these years, me just working through all my crap or whatever, I still find myself in those places. But thank God I have, this is it's so weird. Sometimes help comes from, your help and strength comes from like the strangest places and the weirdest people, because sometimes the
Yeah.
closest people to you, they're so close to you that when they talk sense to you and they tell you what is right for you, you don't listen. But then when
Yep.
somebody that you really don't mess with like that, or somebody that
Random person.
like you don't even know says, hey, blah 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 blah, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It catches your attention. And I say
Right.
this to say, this was maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, and Aria, I've had Lud in my I want to say my womb. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
growing it, living life until death is due, after my
Yeah.
last suicide attempt about
Yeah.
7 years ago. I've had it since, but I started putting it out there about 3 years ago. And
Right.
my aunt and I, who we kind of fell apart when it came to, we were very close when I was younger, but as I got older, we fell apart because of, probably my strong mind and my mouth talking back. She's strong mind, strong willed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was one incident that we just fell out over or whatever, but God has brought us back together. And so literally she FaceTimed me, and if you really know me, I don't like to be on the phone like that. I don't like to be doing the FaceTiming because it's so personal to me. Like, sometimes I just like being in my own space. I like to
Right.
be, thinking and all that stuff. But I hadn't come out my room for about a week or so, and I knew I was falling into a place, but I couldn't seem
Yeah.
to catch it. And so,
Right.
for people who don't know, I spent a whole year afraid of the public. I spent a whole year in my house, like, didn't
Wow.
go out. You know what I mean? Talking about a performer, like, that's what type of performer is afraid of people? Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah, and depression will have you like that. Depression will have you thinking, oh, I'm not important enough. I don't want to talk to anybody. Because I knew I needed to talk to somebody, but I was scared to talk to people.
yeah, it does that. You gotta know.
Yeah.
And once you get that strength to overcome it that first time, and then that second time, you get stronger and stronger. Be like, oh, you ain't nothing. I know what you are.
Right.
But my aunt, she called me, Aria, like, I would not be doing this probably right now. I would have missed out on so many open doors had she not called me. She said God told her to call. She said, her name is LaShawn Danae, and she's an author. Yeah, that's my little plug for you, LaShawn. So don't say I ain't never done nothing for you, girl. I love you. She's an author, and she has this book that's out. And she called me. I answered it, and she was like, hey, I was in the dark, FaceTime, and she said, turn the light on. And I'm like, so I turned the light on, and I don't know why I was being so obedient, because normally I'm not. I'm just like, no, or like, I just won't answer or whatever. And she said, God told me to pull you out. He said, pull Zay out. Because he's going, she said, what's going on? She said, like, what's going on
Wow.
with Lud? What she said, you laying here, she said, the enemy cannot defeat you like this. She said, you have come too far from popping pills, from the crazy cursing, the crazy violence. She said, you've come too far and done too much work to be sitting up there laying in the bed. People need you. People need to
Listen.
hear your
Come
story.
on. Come
And
on.
you know, your mom, my aunt, these people, your friends, you know what I mean? I think that we both can stand strong, Aria, and encourage people to say, hey, when you hear that type of message coming to you, you better listen up and toughen up, because it is so much better to walk through open doors than try to bust your way in through a closed door. You know what I mean? That something that's already open for you, it's just so much easier just to get up and walk. And it was tough to get my ass up out of bed. And I gotta be real with this. It was tough for me to get my ass up, okay? And I had to get up. She said, get up. She said, go take a shower. You
Right.
know, she said, go, you know, whatever you got to listen to some music, whatever you got to do to get
Right.
it together. She said, but
But
it
you
better
gotta get
not
out of
be a
there.
day that people don't hear about Lud. People should
Yeah.
know living life until death is due. And I said, you know, and about, like I said, that was about 4 months ago. And here I am
Powerful.
interviewing one of the greatest legends, that I'm calling you a legend, one of the greatest legends. I know this is a
Wow.
stamp in history. This is what I feel, Aria. I'm gonna just be for real. Um, I feel like people are going to look back on this, and as big as you're going to be, like, I feel like I am honored to be a part of the history making of Aria Hope and your
I
grand
appreciate
stamp on this earth. I see greatness for you. I feel the greatness for you. I
I
see
appreciate
it. I see it so much. And so I'm just so honored. I said, Lord, I was taking a shower early. I was like, Lord, how is it that I am getting to, you know, like, and it's not the first time that I cross paths with greatness. Cross paths with greatness all the time. So many people that are relevant in the industry now have mentored me, you know, and I'm like, how is it possible? I asked myself in the restroom, I said, how is it possible that this girl Aria, you know, she's so phenomenal? And he said, well, it's because you are too. you
Right.
he said, like, when you he said there's no way that you would be able to even like get close to her if you weren't somewhere on that wavelength. And I said, well, thank you, God. That's all I said, Aria. I said, thank you, God.
Right.
Like,
You
and
gotta, and I need people to understand this, and that's why I'm always so transparent with everybody about what I do, because guys, I'm a regular human being, just like everybody
yeah,
else. You know, I go through things like everybody else. I bleed just like everybody else. I get hurt just like everybody else. But I choose to put my focus in what I'm passionate about and my art that makes me happy to keep going and to keep pushing. And that's what separates me from people that are successful and people who aren't successful. And I'm not saying that I'm some millionaire yet.
yeah.
I
Come
will
on,
be
yet, yes,
yet.
yet.
I will be a billionaire, not you. I'm gonna go to bills. You
Come
know what
on,
I'm
let's
saying?
go.
And I speak that over my life, and I
Yes,
truly believe that, because I have this. It's like this fire inside of me that I refuse to let die. Even when I start, getting into this depression and everything, when I can't pray for myself, it's good to have friends and parents and aunties like yours,
right,
and mamas like mine that pray for you, that are so spiritual that the Lord drops your name in their heart
right.
when you
Yes.
can't do it. My coach, my TLC coach, because I'm also our title is so funny. We're called Life Changers. I sell Total Life Changes. I sell the NutriBurst and the Detox Tea and everything. That's what helped me lose the 40 pounds. But my coach, the Quandria Cuthbertson, she called me one day, and she's just a ball of energy, just like me. We call each other twins. Our style is the same. We look alike. We're both about 6 feet, in flats, like big personalities, loud.
Wait a minute, girl.
Everywhere we go.
Did you say you about 6 foot, girl?
Yeah, I'm a big girl.
Girl, you look, and the
I'm a
crazy, you
big
look
girl.
so tiny. Like, you look so tiny, girl. Like, first of all, like,
It's angles.
this. Let me just do this real quick. Y'all, this is
Okay,
a
let's
this
do
is a phone interview, so like I gotta doctor it up. But right now, like there's gonna be a picture of her and all this stuff. But like when you go on her page, like this girl,
it.
all of her curves are natural. Oh, natural.
I worked hard. I worked hard on
Man,
them.
that natural. She is beautiful, striking.
Thank
Let me
you.
just say, hey, you know what I mean? Like you could have been my wife in another lifetime. You feel me?
Listen, in another lifetime. And while we're on that note, all the single men, that's good men. They got stuff to go up for themselves, have multiple hustles like me, a full-time job on top of your business. Maybe your business is your full-time job. I'm trying
Come
to get
on.
that. Listen, you got your own, because I got some non-negotiables, okay? You got your own everything. I can have a nice home and family to take me to, parents and everything. No kids. I don't have none. So I don't want you to have none. I want us to experience that together.
Aria.
I need my husband to find me. So where you at? Okay.
You
Come
heard
on
it
now.
first on Legends Speak. She say, "Where's her hubby at?"
Where my husband at? It's time now. Now I'm
Man,
tired.
man.
Gotta play with y'all.
Come on. Would I be out of line if I tagged? Where's mine too?
Listen. We all looking.
I'm
Maybe
looking
they
for.
together. Maybe they hanging out somewhere. Who knows?
Girl, Aria,
You
girl,
silly.
you crack me the heck up for real. You crack me up. I enjoy you. I genuinely enjoy
I enjoy
you.
you as well.
Let me move into while we were talking about you talked on spoke on the depression. You spoke on how you got through that, your launching of the business, and then the losing of the weight. In which I looked at a few of your videos, and you were so stupid. Like, I mean that in a good way. You stupid. You jump a rope talking about, coach, I'm gonna get tired, right? Like I say, this girl is a fool. I say she a fool.
Coach, I'm gonna be tired doing this warm up, and I ain't gonna be able to do the rest of my workout.
I say,
My
man,
coach don't pay me no mind.
I loved it. I loved it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about, because this is something that I love to embrace too. Now I will say on the record, that for real, I identify as a homosexual man, a gay man, and
Mm-hmm.
there is definitely in my community, of course, it's very sexualized and all that stuff, and so I had to find
Yep.
my balance with um allowing myself to be able to express my sexuality, and not and sexuality being different from sexual orientation, and you know what I mean, like
Right.
explore my sexuality, all that stuff, and still be a man of God. You know what I mean? I had to
Right.
learn how to encompass how to do all of that stuff. How do you balance that? Like, Aria, how do you balance? Because I mean, like, you have such great sex appeal, but it's so classy. It's so classy.
Thanks.
It's it's so sexy and classy. I'm like, look at this girl. Like, how do you balance, exploring your sexual? How did you come to do that and do it so well?
Okay, self-love. Okay, self-love, 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 self-love. Hashtag self-love.
Come on.
Starting starting in May of 2020, after going through a breakup. I've always had a big heart. I've always given. I will give the clothes off my back to somebody who doesn't have. I have before gave my shoes off of my feet to a homeless person, because I knew I had more at home, but I knew they didn't.
Right.
So I was barefoot until I, got more shoes when I got to my home. But I've just always had a, giving spirit. But the thing about it is that when you give and give and give and give, especially when you get into these relationships, ladies, you get into these relationships and you want to be a wife so bad that you give these men wife privileges.
Huh.
That you shouldn't.
Talk about it.
And then you end up getting hurt and broken. And, contrary to what people might believe, our experiences, especially relationships, is what make us who we are. And that's good and bad. Sometimes you can be in a relationship that's violent and abusive, which I've been in those relationships, and then I became the abuser, as a self-defense mechanism, because, okay, you didn't put your hands on me. Oh, before it happened, I'm about to put my hands on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just all of these, relationships, and you get a relationship as a relationship as a relationship, because a lot of people, they use another relationship as a Band-Aid to get over the last relationship they was in. Then you just keep putting Band-Aids on it, and eventually your Band-Aid box gets empty, and then you're left and you have to deal with who you really are.
Come on.
And
I love
was a
that
mess.
analogy.
I was a mess. I was broken. I was a mess. And I was not happy with Aria. I was not happy with being alone with Aria. And I sit in the middle of my living room one day after my breakup, and I said, Lord, I need you to help me love me. I said, because it's not healthy that I put my happiness in people. Because when those people are gone, then I'm just a mess. Right. I said, help me to be happy with me. Help me to love me. Now, even as a 40 pounds heavier, I've always been a confident woman, you know what I'm saying, or seemingly confident, because people didn't know that I dealt with depression. When I step outside that door, you're not going to know what I'm dealing with inside. Right. But behind closed doors, I would go home and I would just cry. I would feel ugly. I would feel sad. I would feel like nobody loved me. I would feel broken. And of course, you have your parents and your friends that love you, but you're like, man, you just love me because you my mama, and you just love me because you my friend. Like, right. I don't believe like what you gotta love me. And, right, like I don't know what I don't believe you. And so, starting in May, I became very, 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 very intentional about self-love, loving myself, loving who God made me, and taking what God made and making the best of it. You know, you only gonna get one body. You only gonna get one voice, which, by the way, it's been about 5 years ago, I had vocal cord surgery. I had polyps on my vocal cords from teaching and singing. The doctor told me, you know, you probably would never be able to sing again. I looked at her and said, do you not know the God that I serve? Come on. And after my healing, I couldn't speak for a month. I couldn't sing for like 3 months. That was my artistry. That's how I express myself. Everything I do, I use my voice. You know, I do interview, I teach, I use my voice. I sing, I use my voice. I do poetry, I use my voice. You know what I'm saying? What you mean I can't talk? What you mean I can't speak? That was God telling me to shut up because he needed to work on me. There was some things that I needed to be quiet. I needed to be quiet. And when I came back out, I was better than before. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you have to go within yourself and you have to learn who you are. It goes back to learning who you are and love who you are. And, you know, it's okay you might have this little fupa. You hear me talk about my fupa all the time if you watch my workout videos. Yes. It's fupa. Where this fupa gonna go? I'm sorry, girl, but it's gonna be the last thing to go. Okay, well, I'm gonna work on everything else. You know, I'm gonna let it do what it do. You know, because it didn't take overnight for you to become a mess. It didn't take overnight for you to be broken. It didn't take overnight for you to gain this weight. So it's not gonna take overnight for you to learn how to love yourself. It's not. Right. I'm still working on it. And like I said, it's been 5 months. I started in May. And you know, guys, like going back to what I said, you only have one body. I started being intentional about my body. I only have one. Right. So you have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Started eating better. I started eating more fruits and vegetables. I started drinking water, a gallon of water a day. It cleared up my skin. I had real bad skin trouble. But guys, when you're putting trash in your body, you are what you eat.
I mean, that
you are what you eat.
You know, Aria, I think that why I love what you're doing so much is because, like, I'm also a big believer in practice what you preach. You know what I mean? As well. So if you're going to put it out there, you better make sure that you are damn sure, you know, applying it. So when people start to really ask you, because one thing I don't want to be uncovered as is like somebody who's fake or fraud or like, I hate that. You know what I mean? I'm a perfectionist like you too. And so I've been practicing the self-love thing and like for years because of anxiety and just because of trash. You know, when I was younger, I could eat fast food. And, it's not like I'm old now, but I'm only 29. You know, I'm only 29, but you know, I could eat trash and then like just keep going. But then like I saw about the beginning of this year, I started changing back up to how I used to do when I was in school. You know, and it would be like training for ballet or, you know, my dance classes, anything like that. I just started going back to that. And girl, when I tell you like my stomach stopped hurting, like I used to wake up with bad cramps. I mean, for a moment, I had to make sure that I wasn't a woman having a menstrual cycle. I said, because that's what it feel like. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, last time I checked, I am a man. So why is my stomach cramping? Like, I mean, I would go to the hospital and be like in dire pain. And I mean, I changed up my foods and started eating healthier. And I be damn, Aria, girl, I have not had stomach problems like I had.
I'm telling you.
I say, wow.
Yeah. You are what you eat. Like, you think more clearly. Like, when you put trash in your body, you can't even think clearly. It comes out in your face. It comes out in your body. Like, and I do a little, I do have my cheat meals, but every time I eat heavy, greasy foods, I'm tired. I have no energy. All I want to do is sleep. You are a living vessel. Just like trees need water and sunlight. We need water and sunlight. We need plants. We need, like, everything that we need, it comes from the earth. Okay?
You better teach these people something, Aria.
And so,
teach these people something.
Right, and self-love, like, it looks different for everybody, what it looks like to you. And I started being intentional about making sure I go outside and get sun, making sure I talk to the birds and all the animals and the sky and the water, being around it. It just brings you peace. And I actually have an album under my belt that I'm working on that I put on pause for a second.
Okay.
Because I got so many parts of me. But it's called I Am. I Am is an affirmation. Everything that comes after that is a manifestation.
Yes.
And I started writing this album on my self-love journey. And it was being by the water, by the still waters. It was hearing the birds. It was taking my shoes off and putting my feet in the grass and the dirt and becoming one with the earth. We're made from the earth. So you have to become one with it. And it was there that I started loving myself. And people are like, how did you do it as far as your fitness? I'm not into fitness and I don't like working out. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But you're not going to always like everything that you do. Right. You're not going to like everything that's good for you. Okay? Right. You're not going to like. Usually things that aren't good for you are the things that we like the most, and they're not good for us. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so the things that you don't like to do, more than likely are the things that you probably should be doing. So in start wanting to feel better and relieving stress, I started working out. I started walking 3 to 8 miles a day. When I noticed how quickly I was dropping weight, and changing. I did no meats. I did no sweets. I did no juices. I did no sodas. I started incorporating sea moss into my stuff. I started drinking 1 gallon of water a day. I started eating raw vegetables and grilled things, no fried foods. And I started dropping weight crazy. That's when I got a trainer, because I was like, okay, I don't just want to be out here and be skinny and lose all my curves. Right. So I got a trainer to help me isolate where I'm building muscle and where I'm losing, to make sure that I keep my curves. Yes. And guys, let me tell you something. When you look good, you feel good. Yes, okay? That's true. And I think that's where me, my sexuality and me being confident and me being okay with my curves came when I started feeling better about myself. Yeah. And that came in working out, in loving me. And I stopped wearing makeup. I'm telling you, when my self-love journey started, my spiritual journey started, I stopped wearing makeup. Which, ladies, makeup is fun. Makeup is nice. It's cool, especially in this line of work, and, you have to wear it. But you also need to give your skin time to breathe. Yeah. Use things like turmeric. It helps with lightening those dark spots and cleaning your face. Simply cleaning the makeup off your face, cleaning your face and drinking more water.
So many girls they be trying to go to bed like photo shoot ready. I be like, hey, no, what are you doing? Like,
So, dear husband, wherever you at, wake up looking different in the morning. No, just kidding. For real, I just started loving everything that God created in the world and myself. And that's when I got that extra confidence. That's when people are like, oh my gosh, you're glowing. You know why? Because I truly love who I am. Okay, not in a conceited way, not by any means. I just took what God made and
embraced
enhanced. It. That's what people do with makeup, right?
Right.
They take the makeup and they just enhance what they already have. And,
right.
And when you look good, guys, you feel good, and that's that. When you eat good, you feel good. Okay. Put good things into your body, and then you just gonna be waking up one morning and be like, oh, look at them curves. I literally walk past the mirror and I'll take a picture. It's a thing that me and my friends do. Girl, did you catch your reflection in the mirror? Did you see how good you was looking?
Look before you called me, I was sitting there, I was prepping for the interview, and I was sitting there and I was like kind of singing and stuff, and I had my little mirror in front of me, I perform in front of my mirror, kind of get a you know, I just perform in front of the mirror. I want to know what I look
Right,
like to the lens. And then I was kind of looking at, I was like, oh, you look kind of, you sexy, you looking good. Look how. Wait
right,
a minute, let me do that move one more time. Let me put my body right here. You know what I mean? I'm like really
right,
looking. I'm into myself, and it's not cause of bit like you said. It's not from a conceited type way, but when you actually love yourself, things that you can do that in the privacy of your own home or a bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, and you can do it in,
right.
and that's a form of an affirmation as well. Looking in the mirror and accepting what you see
And who you are and what you see.
is
Right.
is
Every
you know what I mean.
imperfection.
And I want to encourage people. This is my therapist. She encouraged me. This is I'm literally telling you guys, like literally about 6 months ago, she told me, she said, I want you to come up with 3 affirmations and say to yourself daily. She said, because you are just way too hard on yourself. You do
Yep.
too much,
Same.
and like you don't give yourself enough credit. You do a lot, Zay. You do a lot. And I was like, she said, come up with 3 affirmations. And when I tell you, Aria, I could not. I was like 3. That I was like, I felt like that was running like a 10K for me.
Three.
Like
Like three.
just
That is
three.
so
Just 3. I couldn't come up with 3, but here's the thing, when you practice it, I've heard that I'm handsome or beautiful all the time. So this is what I did. Let me give y'all a little hint. If y'all having a hard time coming up with your own affirmations, one thing that you
Yeah.
can do is take a positive affirmation that someone else has said to you that you probably don't believe, and just say it to yourself. And say it to take their affirmations, and then until eventually their affirmations will form into yours. And I notice I said positive. You got them watching now. Positive. And then I
Right.
caught myself. I was in the restroom, girl. I was on the toilet, girl, in the depression. Okay.
It happens.
Let
It
me tell you,
happens.
I had to get up. I have to be real right now, but I was like, oh, I can't have this come down on me. And so all of a sudden I just started saying, no, Zay, you are great. You are beautiful. Your
Yes.
big toe looks great. Your pinky toe, you know what I mean, girl? When I say I start pulling out affirmations from
People forget
everywhere,
about the pinky toe.
the pinky
Yes.
toe, the pinky
Yeah.
toe look good, girl. You say whatever affirmation that you have to say to
Okay.
get your butt up out that place.
Right.
That's what you do. And
Right.
Aria, you are definitely you are doing the work. You've done and doing the work, and it shows. It definitely
Thank you.
shows.
Thank
Um,
you.
I want to ask you this one last question. And
Okay.
it comes to really you pretty. I think I already know the answer, but I was just curious. Do you think
Mhm.
if people, when it comes to your audience, men and women, do you
Yeah.
think do you connect more with the with women or with men? And if you connect with one stronger than the other, how are you kind of strengthening yourself to be able to interact to encourage the opposite sex as well?
Okay, so I tell you this. I never meet a stranger. Okay.
Okay.
And so I have a whole lot of male friends and a whole lot of women friends. But I will tell you this, it hasn't always been like that.
Okay.
Because of who I am, and when you have confidence, people confuse it as cockiness
Yes.
and, stuck up. And a lot of times, and I want to put this out there, I want all my queens, because I feel like everybody is a queen and everybody is a goddess. We can all eat from the same table, guys.
Yes.
It's enough food for everybody. You just got to go get it.
Yeah.
It's enough. And I want you to know that it's not a competition. And so what you have to do is you have to surround yourself by people who are like you, okay, to help build you up and you build them up. And I'm telling you, all my girlfriends, and you have to pray for that. Literally, when I moved to Texas, I said, Lord, please surround me by genuine people and people that will help push me towards my purpose.
Yes.
Okay, guys, if y'all got people in your life that's not helping you towards your purpose, and they're like baggage, only wearing you down. Every time you get around them, you're sad. Every time you get around them, they need something from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let to cut that off, because it's not helping you grow. A tree cannot grow with dead roots or dead branches. You have to prune them, okay?
Yeah.
It's important to prune your friend list, your friends, your family members sometimes too. You got to prune your tree, because you are a living organism. In order for you to continue to grow, once again, feed yourself water, feed yourself positivity, and surround yourself by things and people like you. And so I have a lot of girlfriends now because I chose to put myself in that position and be around people who are like me.
Yeah.
All of my friends have 1,500 businesses going on. They are artists in every shape form. I mean, I have writers, I have producers, I have directors, I have singers, I have actresses, I have painters, I have trainers. Everybody is on it.
Yes.
You know, on it. You have to check your friendship and you have to be on it. Now, men, of course, I had to, you got to be careful with men.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you said, they see me, they see curves, they see people going, and people will literally attach to you as a leech and just try to drain you of your energy. Like they're called energy vampires.
Right. Yes.
They'll drain you of your energy and everything, and you can't be having that. So I get along with my best friend, Daryl Barr is a guy, which is funny because I used to be so into him. I'm like, you gonna be the one. His name is Daryl Barr from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I used to be so into him. And at the time, I was not the woman who I am now. Boy, I had a lot of growth. Is he a what?
Is he a singer? Is he on?
He sings as well.
I feel like I'm putting a picture. I feel like
he has locks.
I need to see a picture because I think I know exactly who you. I want to say that name, and it's not.
Sound familiar?
It sounds very familiar, and not in a way like we date. But I think that we may have went to college together. When I to my if it's the same one, we went to AMDA in Los Angeles together. So
I'm not sure.
But I'm gonna look him up. But continue.
He's my best friend. After I got past the I'm into you, ladies, every guy friend that you are friends with, you don't have to date. Some people are literally put in your life to give you the male perspective of things. Okay, when you're dealing with these men that ain't doing you right, they're gonna give you the game. That's why it's important to have male friends too. You know, male friends. So I'm pretty balanced in my male and female friend avenue. I get along with everybody, and like I said, it's all about perspective. Your girlfriends tell you one thing, your guy friends tell you another thing. You know what I'm saying? And then you take what works best for you, and that's that. So I literally get along with everybody. I do. I
can tell too. I can tell. Like I really, guys, like. I was listening back at the interview, like a little bit of it, and at first you could tell why I was nervous a little bit. You could hear it in my voice.
You was nervous.
I was nervous, girl. But eventually I broke out, and then what I love about this is that really you were setting the stage for my new segment, Aria, Legends Speak. Like I said, you are literally setting the stage where I am going to be having more conversations with great people, great legends like yourself, who are really on the up and rising and just going with the wind. And I just really love the fact that even though it's an interview, we are having a conversation talking about some real stuff that people need to hear. You're very transparent like myself, so it's not weird or strange that I was drawn to you or you were drawn to me, and that we have crossed paths whatsoever. And I said, you know what? Like I told you earlier, I said I just had to thank God. When you come across great things, and when you know the worth of yourself and you know the worth of other people, like you don't have to give me your time right now, Aria. You don't have to. So I respect that. I love it. I understand what it is. You could be doing some other things right now, but you are choosing to give me your time.
I believe in people's visions. You want people to support you, but you also have to support people. It's balanced. Everything is balanced.
Right.
Y'all, everything is balanced. You don't want your scale tipped over. You got to balance everything out. Okay? You got to balance the good. You got to balance the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Put that Libra on them.
Right, but that Libra, you got to balance it. And I want to tell you this because I heard this. The Lord dropped this in my spirit while you were talking about this new segment. I envision you having your own talk show. It's like a very intimate setting, like just on the couch, and you're just asking questions like me and you doing over the phone. But this is something that needs to not just be over the phone. I see you having your own show and having people come on there and keeping this open line of communication, this open line
Yeah.
of transparency, and yeah, that's coming for you.
I
So
received that.
be on the
I
lookout.
received
Yeah.
that, so because you know what, that's where I have been trying to take Lud. Lud is a very intimate thing, and like where I do most of my segments are in my bedroom. It's very intimate. It's very, and if I could, I would have done this with you live, or done this with you like, like in the same room if I could, but of course
Yeah.
some things have to, when it has to happen, you got to make it happen, you know what I mean?
You gotta, it
This is
happen.
the only
Yeah.
way. But I definitely, that is what I had put out there, that was given to me by God, and I've been trying to follow that, and I have accepted.
Don't say try.
Okay,
You do it, you don't.
okay, thank you. You
When
better
you
get
say
me
try,
together.
when
Aria,
when
you better
say
get
try,
me together.
somebody told that to me, and so every time I hear it, I need to tell people, because our words, our brain, we condition our brain with our words, and so when you try, you are conditioning your brain to only go as high as trying,
Yes.
and not more than trying. So you either do or you don't.
I
So
think
you're going to, God gave me this, and this is what I'm going to do. And as a matter of fact, before you get your own place, I actually know somebody, good friend, Harold Trotter. He actually has an interviewing spot in his studio that he rents out to people to do their own things.
Huh.
And so I'll give you his contact information, and you can, talk to him, pick whatever day you want to go to do your show, for however long, and go from there. Yeah.
that's it.
I got you.
I think the thing that I want to take away from this, first of all, Aria Hope has dropped so much knowledge on y'all. Like, y'all should have so much stuff to take away. But my takeaway is, don't try. You do or you don't. Simple. Period. You do or you don't. The next time try comes out of my mouth, I'ma hear that. No, say either you do or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, what's trying? Don't nobody like gray areas, and that's what try is, a gray area.
Aria, you are such a breath of fresh air. Let me just get you to. Can I please get you to say your name? I just say, I am Aria Hope, and I am living life until death is due. Can I get you to say that for me, please?
Say it one more time. What am I supposed to say?
Say your name and say, I am living life until death is due.
My name is Aria Hope, and I am living life until death is due. Thank you.
You guys heard it here first. Yes. Awesome. I feel so great. Yes. Thank you so much, Aria. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to end the recording at this point, guys. Just like Aria is living, the great, outstanding, phenomenal, beautiful Aria Hope is living life until death is due. I want to encourage you guys to always remember to live life until death is due. If it is not looking for you, do not go looking for it, okay? It will happen in its old time. You cannot control the life and death. Just like when you took your first breath, when it was time, you couldn't avoid it. When it's time for you to take your last breath, you can't control it. But what you can control is everything in between your first and your last breath. So make sure that you are worth it. Make sure that you are living your purpose and figure out your purpose no matter how uncomfortable it makes you feel. This is Zay with Lud Legend Aria Hope. You guys have a great one.